He sought an unspoilt wife in the village to escape the city's corruption. You wouldn't believe what happened next. At a loud bar in Enugu, Chuka sat his Kene and Ebuka. The music was heavy and a group of women nearby were busy taking selfies. Kene shook his head, finishing his drink. City girls know they settle. They're only interested in where your money is, not who you are. Ebuka leaned over the table. Exactly. If you don't have a Benz or a huge apartment, forget it. They'll treat you like a ghost. Chuka sighed, pushing his beer glass away. I'm tired of all this drama. I want a woman who values peace, not the next trending party. Maybe the one I need doesn't even exist in this city. Kenny scoffed. And where will you find Joe? In a Nollywood movie? Don't laugh, Chuka countered. I'm serious. I'm going back home to the village to find a decent wife. Someone grounded. Ebuka chuckled. You're mad. You will bring her here and this city will teach her in 6 months. Enugu changes everyone. Oh. Not my wife, Chuka said, a sharp finality in his voice. The right woman will not change. Chuka drove through the busy streets of Enugu, then pulled over to call his mother, Mama Chinyere, who was in the village. Mama, I need your help. I'm ready to marry, but not just any woman. The girls here, they are just too much work, too expensive. They don't respect the home. They are too spoilt by this city life. I knew it. I told you to look here from the start, Mama Chinyere said with satisfaction. So tell me, what do you want in a good girl? I need a proper wife, Mama. Wife material. She must have good character, a virgin, be humble and hardworking, and someone who knows how to manage a home and respect a man. She must be from a good, quiet family. And Mama, he should be well endowed too. A man needs to be proud of his wife. Mama Chinyere chuckled. My son, you want a virtuous woman and a beautiful one. I understand. Leave it to me. I know a few families. I will start looking for your village girl immediately. When will you come home to see them? I'll come home next month, Mama. Send me the pictures of the best ones. Thank you, Mama. You are the only one I trust. Go well, my son. I will find the best for you, she promised, ending the call. Chuka felt a sense of relief. His search for a truly unspoilt woman was finally in motion. Chuka traveled to this village and met with several potential brides selected by his mother. And after weeks of visits and interviews, one girl stood out, Ifeoma. Ifeoma was known throughout her compound for her humility and hard work. And when Chuka visited, she served him food, kneeling slightly as was customary, and spoke only when spoken to. She possessed a natural beauty, and to Chuka's satisfaction was indeed well endowed. Mama, this is the one, Chuka told his mother after their meeting. She is calm, respectful, and truly unspoilt. She is everything that those Enugu girls are not. Mama Chinyere beamed. I told you, my son, a good wife is found at home. The family quickly performed the necessary traditional rites. Chuka was certain he had found his sanctuary, a woman immune to the corruption of the city. Months later, Chuka brought in his new wife, Ifeoma, to Enugu. And as they drove past tall buildings and bright lights, Ifeoma was silent, her eyes wide with wonder. Look at the size of those buildings, Chuka, she finally whispered, pointing at an apartment block. Are people living that high? Yes, my love, Chuka smiled, holding her hand. Welcome to the city. And when they stopped at the ShopRite supermarket, Ifeoma gasped at sheer volume of goods. All this food, just in one building? She asked, her voice hushed. Back home, my mother has to go to 5 different market women for all of this. Where are the women who are selling the vegetables? They are all here, Chuka chuckled. But everything is already sorted, already paid for. No market haggling. It's like a different world, Ifeoma said, her eyes fixed on brightly lit display. It's so fast. The awe in her voice gave Chuka confidence. His wife was pure. The city wouldn't touch her. Chuka drove Ifeoma to their apartment, a modest but modern 2-bedroom flat. "Welcome home, my wife," Chuka said, leading her inside. Ifeoma marveled at the tiled floors and the constant electricity. He quickly pointed out the key areas. "This is the parlor. We entertain guests here. This is our bedroom, and this," he said, gesturing to a spare room, "is the study. I work here, and you should use it if you want to read." Ifeoma smiled. "It is a beautiful home, my husband. I will keep it well." Chuka sat her down on the new sofa, his expression serious. "Now, Ifeoma, we must talk about life in the city. Things here are different. They are fast and they can be dangerous." "Yes, my husband. I will follow your lead," she replied humbly. "Good. First, you will not go out alone unless it is to the market for food. And if you need to go far, you will tell me first, and I will arrange a reliable taxi." He continued, raising a finger. "Second, our neighbors are nice, but you will keep your distance. Do not invite strangers in, and do not spend time gossiping at the gates. We keep our home private. Third, this is the most important one. Television and radio are only for news. You will not spend all your time watching those foreign programs or the silly shows about rich people. They teach bad habits and fill a woman's head with nonsense." Ifeoma nodded slowly. "And social media?" Chuka frowned. "Social media is the worst of the city's poison. I bought you a simple phone for calling my mother and your parents. You will not use any internet applications that shows you that sports life. It changes good women. And I brought you here because you are good. Do you understand these rules?" "Yes, my husband," Ifeoma said, her eyes fixed on his. "I understand. I will not let the city people change me." Chuka felt relieved, convinced he had secured his unspoilt village jewel from the corrupting influence of Enugu. Chuka returned home one Friday evening as he carried a small wrapped package. Ifeoma was cleaning the kitchen, singing a low traditional song. "My wife, I have a gift for you," Chuka announced, handing her the package. Ifeoma wiped her hands and took it, her eyes lighting up. "A gift, my husband? Thank you." She tore the wrapping paper off quickly, and inside was a set of new brightly colored boo-boo gowns. They were simple and elegant. Ifeoma held the coat up, her smile faltering slightly. They are beautiful, very beautiful, Chuka." "I knew you'd like them," Chuka said, satisfied. "They are the clothes of a respectable woman, humble but stylish. The city women wear clothes that show too much, which is not for my wife. Wear this on Sunday and when you receive guests." In the apartment, Ifeoma struggled with the modern appliances. She stood in the laundry room, frowning at the washing machine. "My husband, this machine no dey wash my wrapper. I think say I spoil am." Chuka walked in and laughed gently. He showed her the buttons. "It's a washing machine, my love. You don't need to stand over it and beat the clothes. Just press start. You get used to it." Chuka hosted a small dinner in his apartment to introduce Ifeoma to his closest friends, Kene and Ebuka. She wore the bubble gowns Chuka had bought for her, her hair simply tied back. And when it was time to serve food, Ifeoma performed her duty with her quiet grace. Chuka expected that. She knelt slightly as she placed the plates of jollof rice and fried plantain before the men, keeping her eyes downcast and speaking only when Kene thanked her. After Ifeoma retreated to the kitchen, Kene turned to Chuka, grinning widely. "My brother, you finished work," Kene exclaimed, tapping Chuka's shoulders. "Your wife is a jewel. See how respectful she served us. Not like these city women who drop your food and immediately ask for Wi-Fi passwords. Ebuka nodded in agreement. Man, you're wise. She's proper wife material. Look at her. Humble, quiet, and well kept. Kene then lowered his voice, his eyes following Ifeoma as she walked back into the kitchen. And there, Chuka mama, she's just curvy. Very well endowed. You've got everything in one package. Don't expose her to the wrong eyes, oh. Ebuka warned, seriously. And seriously, don't let her hang out with Enugu girls. They will teach her how to complain about money and start comparing your salary to her friends' husbands. You married pure, so keep her pure. You did well avoiding these spoiled girls. Chuka swelled with pride, glancing towards the kitchen. I told you all I wouldn't make a mistake. Ifeoma is different. I've already set the rules, and the city will not touch her. She's here to build a home, not to chase trends. He felt completely validated. His village jewel was exactly as advertised. Life settled into a routine in Enugu. Chuka left early for work, confident in Ifeoma's unspoilt nature. Ifeoma, however, was quickly learning. Ifeoma began spending time at a small roadside hair salon near their apartment. The women there were young, fashionable, and connected. Became her first window into city culture. They were constantly on their phones, showing Ifeoma videos and pictures. They introduced her to Instagram and TikTok. Ifeoma, why don't you have a phone? A stylist Ngozi asked one afternoon. He has such a nice figure. She'll be taking pictures now. That evening, she asked Chuka for a smartphone. Why do you need an expensive phone? Chuka asked, frowning. Your smartphone is enough for calls to your parents and my mother. Ifeoma gave him a sweet, practiced smile. It's for my security, my husband. I can use the GPS map when I go to the market, and it's to help me learn English faster. Chuka, convinced by her humble reasons, bought her a new smartphone. And the next afternoon, while Chuka was at work, Ifeoma told the gateman she was going to the local market. Instead, she went straight back to Ngozi's salon. They immediately sat her down and started teaching her the basics of city presentation. First thing, girl, you need a new walk, Ngozi instructed, demonstrating a slow, deliberate strut. You walk too fast like you're running from your village. Chioma scrolled through her Instagram feed. See this lady here? She's wearing a waist trainer to hold her tummy in. You need to learn how to pose. Stand like you own the place. They spent over an hour teaching Ifeoma how to angle the phone, tilt her head, and use the filters. Chioma was merciless, but encouraging. Don't smile like a beggar. Give them a sexy pout. That's how you get the likes. The smartphone truly became Ifeoma's secret life. She spent every moment studying Instagram, quickly learning the poses, the filters, and the lifestyle of the women she feared. She saw expensive clothes, exotic locations, and women being praised for their looks, a kind of attention she never thought was possible. She started posting pictures. Initially, they were simple pictures of the food she cooked. My husband's dinner, she would caption them. But her friends pushed her. Nobody wants to see Tuoshkanfa, Ngozi messaged. Show yourself. Ifeoma began styling the clothes Chuka bought her in a new, tight way. She used the filters Chioma had shown her, which made her skin flawless and the figure look bolder. The likes and compliments started pouring in. The validation was intoxicating. Ifeoma was finding a new self the village never acknowledged, a self Chuka hadn't permitted, and she couldn't stop. Then, Ngozi showed her how to use a body shaping filter. Ifeoma took a photo in a new form-fitting dress Chuka had bought her. The response was immediate. Dozens of likes and comments praising her beauty and her curves. Ifeoma felt a rush of validation she had never known in the village. Her behavior changed. She started taking selfies everywhere, at the supermarket, in the car, even while cooking. And when Chuka returned from work, he found his wife staring into the glowing screen, often ignoring him. One night, Chuka walked in and found Ifeoma standing on his stool, struggling to adjust a ring light. Ifeoma, what are you doing? Why are you holding the phone like that? Ifeoma quickly dropped the phone, covered the stool. Nothing, my husband. I was just adjusting the curtains. It was dirty. Chuka looked at her suspiciously, then at her new short dress. The village jewel he married was starting to shimmer with a very unfamiliar light. One day, Chuka informed Ifeoma he had to leave for a business trip to Abuja for 4 days. He gave her enough money for groceries and gave her a stern warning. He told Ifeoma to remember the rules. She must stay inside the compound and only go out to the market. No visitors and no lingering at the gate. He would call her every night. Ifeoma told him that she understood. She promised she would be there waiting for him. She gave him a practiced, humble nod. The moment Chuka's car left the gate, Ifeoma texted her new friends, Ngozi and Chema. Within an hour, they arrived in a sleek black car. Ngozi grabbed Ifeoma's arm. 4 days, girl. 4 days of freedom. Put those village people clothes away. We're changing your life tonight. Ifeoma hesitated. But Chuka said, Chema handed Ifeoma a tight sequin dress. Chuka is in Abuja talking business. Tonight, you are having fun. You're talking fun, so put this on. It's time for your upgrade. That evening, Ifeoma completely transformed. Her simple clothes were replaced by a borrowed sequin dress, and the professional makeup artist had given her a bold city look. They took her to a booming nightclub. The music was loud, the lights were flashing, and the air was thick with excitement. Ifeoma was overwhelmed. She shouted to Ngozi over the music, "The place is too noisy. I've never seen so many people dancing like this." Ngozi handed her a bright drink. "Stop talking like a church choir. Drink this and feel the freedom." Ifeoma took a sip. The sweet, sharp taste and the instant warmth spreading her veins were unlike anything she had ever experienced. Chuma pushed her onto the dance floor. "Now let that body move. Don't worry about Chuka. This is your life, Ifeoma." Ifeoma let go. She immediately drew massive attention from men who surrounded her, eager to buy her drinks and dance with her. She had never received such bold validation. She danced until dawn, feeling a dizzying rush of confidence and excitement. She had tasted the forbidden thrill of the city, and the unspoiled village jewel felt a thrilling need for more. Chuka was relaxing in the living room after work, and he noticed Ifeoma's new smartphone lying face down on the dining table and picked it up, intending to move it to the drawer. As he held it, a notification flashed across the screen from Instagram. Ngozi commented on the photo. Chuka frowned, turning the phone over in his hand. He had not installed that app. "What is this, Ifeoma? I thought you only used this for calling my mother and checking the map." Ifeoma instantly rushed over, her movements quick and anxious. She gently took the phone from his hand. "It's nothing, my husband. Just Ngozi, the market's woman's daughter. She sends me funny pictures of babies. I delete them quickly." Chuka watched her closely. He didn't believe the flimsy excuse. "See that you do. Your mind should be on managing this home, not on that phone's nonsense." Ifeoma nodded quickly, retreated to the kitchen, clutching her phone tightly in her pocket. Chuka felt a small uneasy sense that the city's influence was closer than he wanted to believe. One evening, after Chuka told her to turn off a reality show, "Chuka, why are you always controlling the remote? Is this my husband's house or a prison? I want to watch the show now." Chuka was stunned by a sharp tone. "Ifeoma, you dare to talk to me like that? That show is rubbish. It teaches you bad manners. It's just TV. You tell me to stay at home all day, but you don't want me to enjoy anything. Those women are living well. Why can't I learn to live well too?" Though the argument ended quickly, Ifeoma started leaving the house without permission. She would tell the gateman she was visiting Choma, returning hours later with new accessories, claiming they were gifts. Chuka noticed that his wife was becoming a stranger who met these rules with silent resistance. Ifeoma began spending the money Chuka gave her for household upkeep on herself, buying new hair and clothes. Checking the supermarket receipt. Ifeoma, why is the grocery bill so high this month? We ate out half the time. Things are expensive now, Chuka. The prices at ShopRite are rising. But since you asked, she paused, meeting his gaze directly. I also need money for myself. My hair is not looking good enough and I want to change my hair. I provide everything. You're not working. You should be saving my money, not demanding money for a new hairstyle. This is the spoiled talk I try to protect you from. No, this is how people live here. You want me to look like a beggar when we go out, but stay quiet like a village girl at home. I'm your wife, not your maid. Ifeoma started working secretly. She began collaborating with Ngozi and Chioma on their online fashion business, using her Instagram following to model their clothes. On Sunday, Chuka was scrolling through Instagram when he came across a page with lots of videos and pictures. They featured a model wearing an expensive designer dress. He recognized the face immediately. It was Ifeoma. She was posing confidently with a caption advertising a fashion brand. Her clothes were showing and exposed, and Chuka couldn't even recognize her. Bursting through the bedroom door, his face pale with fury, holding his phone showing the pictures. What is the meaning of this? They're modeling clothes on the streets like a street girl? You shamed me. I told you not to chase this rubbish. Ifeoma was ready. She wasn't fearful anymore. She was defiant. She had tasted public approval. I did it for myself. You brought me here to keep me caged and quiet, but I found my voice. I am not your unspoilt project Chuka. I am a woman, and I can make my own money and my own decisions. The argument escalated into shouting, a thing Chuka could not tolerate. He struck the table with his fist. You will take down those pictures and you will apologize to me, or you will go back to the village. I will not allow this shame. Go back? No, I'm not going back to being someone's quiet possession. I am staying here, but you will not stop me. Ifeoma walked out of the bedroom. She did not pack any of the clothes Chuka had bought her, only the new fashionable items and her phone. She emerged minutes later, her bag slung over her shoulder, meeting Chuka's defeated gaze. The village girl is gone, Chuka. The city taught me what I was worth. Find another quiet girl to lock up. She walked out the door and slammed it shut, leaving Chuka alone in a silent apartment. His carefully constructed life lay in ruins. He stood there, trembling, looking at the door. Chuka knew that he couldn't let his wife simply walk away and join the very sport society has always hated. He had to reclaim control, and he had to save face. He grabbed his car keys and his wallet. He would find her, and he would force her to undo the public humiliation she had inflicted. But as he rushed down the stairs, he didn't know the woman who left his house was already gone, and that Ifeoma had already started making powerful connections in Enugu. Connections that will make reclaiming her impossible. What do you think Ifeoma's next move will be? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share with family and friends, and subscribe to be the first one to know when part 2 drops.